This episode of the Conscious Salon podcast is brought to you by Revlon Professional Australia. Welcome back to the Conscious Salon podcast. Tess, today we have a very exciting guest here, and we've got to make sure that we don't get the sillies because it's very easy to do with this human. 11 years ago, with her third baby only 12 weeks old, she and her husband Clint took the leap of faith and bought a salon in Bendigo called Wax Gallery. They started, as many humbling business stories do, long days on the salon floor, learning fast and serving whoever walked through the door. After years of hard work and determination, they listened to their clients, backed their vision, and slowly reshaped the business more towards skin. A few years later, rebranded as Pearl and Sage, they had created a clinic known for results and care in equal measure. But the real magic was never in the treatments. It was in the way that she brought people together. She built a space for, I fucking can't do these things without crying every time. She built a space where clients feel seen, team members feel safe to grow, and community felt welcome. We've watched her hire from heart, train for skill, and protect her team culture like the precious asset that it is. Across those 11 years, she led through seasons that demanded both grit and resilience, and we've seen that firsthand. 2 hands on the tools when needed, 2 feet planted. Oh my God. 2 feet planted into leadership when it mattered the most. She's made the brave calls, refined systems, and built a business that could hum without her in the room. And when the season shifted, she started her next chapter and sold the clinic that she had lovingly built from the ground up. And now, onto a new chapter, founding Soul Society Collective with her 18-year-old daughter, Allegra, centered around the same values that she started over 11 years ago. I'm very emotional because our best mate is sitting in front of us, and it's really been such a privilege to see you build and be such a huge part of that, and also see the behind the scenes. The last episode that we did together, we couldn't hear anything because we were laughing so much. This is definitely a very different start. But we want to welcome to the Conscious Salon podcast our best friend, Rache Mahon.
Yay!
Thank you. What an intro.
What an intro.
I said to myself, I'm not going to cry on this, and I'm already.
It's one's broken. We've got another one in the wings.
It's pretty beautiful.
It's so beautiful. How do you feel hearing that? It's pretty remarkable.
It's sort of like an out-of-body experience listening to, hang on, is that my life? And is that what I've achieved? And who is this person? And wow, like look at where I am now and the season of life I am now. So thank you for that intro. It was beautiful.
We often talk about that, especially as entrepreneurs and business women and, mums and all of these things, that we often will go and full speed ahead and bullet a gate, forward. It's always what's happening next, what we're doing next, where we're going next. Actually stopping and having that moment of reflection, as Nikki's just put in such beautiful words through that, you actually get to look back at the steps and the how you've gotten to where you are. It's just pretty fucking remarkable.
I don't think we do that enough, do we?
I agree. As women, we really don't.
Yeah,
especially
women, mums, business owners, we always want to see what's next. What can we do more? What can we, instead of going, fuck, we've come a long way, and let's really acknowledge that and where we are now.
That little pat on the back. Pat on your back, my friend. It was absolutely wonderful. Wow.
And I think what's really emotional with that, Rach, is seeing from the outside, people watching you on Instagram would see you selling the clinic into the next chapter, but we've really seen the behind the scenes of the emotional side of that, the fear behind that, even the imposter syndrome when you're stepping into that next version of you and what you're doing next. And seeing behind the scenes of that is so different to what people can perceive online. And I really want to talk about that today because we haven't shared your story about selling your clinic.
I know. And so many people have asked me, when are you going to do this episode? So thank you for having me. But
what a gift.
It's exciting.
Very exciting.
So exciting.
So let's talk about it. I want you to tell your story of how you decided to sell the clinic, how it came up as an idea, and then the steps that you took and what that journey was actually like.
Yeah, sure. I think subconsciously thinking about it now, it probably was all playing out essentially in my brain, whatever, manifesting, whatever that looked like. We were away on our family holiday in summer, which we always do, and I'm a big journaler. I journal every single day, and I think there was a lot of things that were happening in my life and within the clinic, and I just had this real drop in of okay, it's the start of a new year. What what do I want and where do I want to be and how do I want to show up for my team and myself. And I think I'm in this real path of self-discovery in the last sort of 18 months. And I wrote in my journal, it sort of just came to me. I was like, if I really looked at myself, is this where I want to be in 12 months' time? And I think I had to be really real to myself. And I remember actually crying. And I thought, if I'm real to myself and I preach this to my team and everyone around me, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I think I've done everything that I can possibly give like emotionally, spiritually, whatever, everything to my team. I think I'm ready for a new journey, whatever that was. Closed my journal, didn't sort of think about that again. I went back to the work the next week, and I had one of my one-on-ones with one of my team members. And she sort of voiced that she was ready to start a new adventure and she wanted to go back and study. And I sat in front of her and I was like, I want you to do whatever your heart desires. I want you to live big and dream. And I'm so glad and I'm so appreciative that I got to be part of this journey with you in some aspect as well. And she's like, thank you so much. And then I got in the car again, lots of crying that week, obviously. And I thought to myself, you need to step into your power. You need to like believe in yourself and you need to listen to your gut and you are ready to let this go. And I remember walking into the house that night, been at work all day, and I said to Clint, I'm ready. And I'm saying it out loud and it makes me emotional now, is I'm ready to let it go and I'm ready to do something different. And that was huge for me.
So powerful.
Huge for me. And I know Clint was like, whatever you want to do. I'm here to support you and we're going to do this together. And he's been my business partner for 11 years as well as my husband and the father to my kids. So it was a really powerful moment. And I know we've always said we will never keep this clinic, this business, if it wasn't right. We wouldn't do it just because of that as well. And I think that sort of all happened only within 2 or 3 weeks of itself. And it's funny how the universe works. And we had someone leasing a space in our clinic at the time, and we sort of got talking and we've got a really good relationship. And he really wanted to sort of venture into the skin side of things as well. And there was a lot of sort of crossing over of treatments that we were doing and things. And I sort of said, oh, that doesn't really work. And I think I sort of just said off the cusp, why don't you could buy it? And he's like, yeah, I'd buy it. And isn't
Like
that funny? And
yeah.
that was literally a week after I said this. I know,
Gosh, I just got
17th of
goosebumps.
January.
Wow.
It's still in my head. I was like, yep, here we go.
She's got the date.
I've got the date.
time.
Don't you worry. And from that day in my journal, I said, I will sell this business this year.
Wow.
So you said the date. So like backstepping a little bit,
Yeah.
last year you made the decision that you were going to step off the tools, which
Yes.
is also a really big
That was
thing.
a massive
Huge,
thing.
like, and also I think with that shift of like identity, because we did like, you know, even with the time that we've been friends, for
3 years.
I was going to say 4 or 5 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
In this time when we met you, you were very much like, I would say almost like not chained to the salon, but kind of. Actually, no, would that be fair? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I lived and breathed it. Like in the 11 years, and now to think about it, probably not over the last couple of years, I sacrificed a lot
Yeah.
for my family and for my kids and for myself because my thing was look after the team, protect the team.
Yeah. So there was a lot of like you were really, I think, living for the team, and then you started getting really clear on like, no, hang on, I want this to work for me. Because I remember when you made the decision of like, I'm going to step off the tools. Do you think that was like a stepping stone to potentially, was it like a little taste tester for you to be like, can I see how this works without me if I'm still like connected to it? Or was it like, I'm going to do it this way and then I eventually want to step out? Like, did you have like a bit of a plan to it, or was
No,
it
I feel like I didn't have a plan. I feel
just
like
organically came together?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
wow.
was time to come off the tools because I was getting that thing of like, I love my clients and I love that, but something else was pulling me to like, okay, nurture the team more. Your wisdom and experience and lived experience is better this way to nurture them. And it's something that I really love and find huge value in as well, of how can I be a really positive impact within my team as well.
We always said that when we first met, like your time is so much more valuable with the team and building the culture and training the team and connecting with the team as opposed to being in the room with clients. Like once upon a time that served you.
Absolutely.
Rache, I'm curious, what comes up when you're getting emotional talking about the sacrifice that you had to make for your family, yourself?
I think about it now, and I've learned so much off especially you two. And I think the self-development of, you know, back in the day in our industry, it was like you work 12 hours a day. You don't have a lunch break. You like hustle, so making money and all of that sort of stuff. And I remember back in the early days, as you said, Nick, at the start, I had a 12-week-old and I was a new mum. And like to me, it was like I bought it and that was a choice. I bought a salon. I'm in there. He was in the cot, literally in the back room, and I was doing people. And like I didn't have maternity leave. I didn't have, you know, even working on a Saturday, I would be like, I can't come to the kids' footy. I can't do that. I've really learned to get over that guilt now, but I had a lot of guilt around not being able to show up to them as an amazing mum. And I always think about being a great role model, but now I think about that, I'm like, I probably wasn't, because my team and my business and the push to make money was so much more important than being there for them. And not that they would ever hold that against me, or now they look to it and go, I know you worked so fucking hard to make where we are now. So, but that was a lot of guilt around that. I don't think I showed up as a great wife. I wasn't a great mum, probably wasn't a great friend at that time, but I thought this is what I have to do to make it work for my family and make this business survive, I guess, in a sense too.
Wow, that is such an amazing share, because I feel like I'm listening to it and I'm like, yes, I know that feeling of the giving everything to this business, and the people around us, our loved ones, we are just like, you get the rest, not the best.
And I think that's what you two have really shown our industry and myself, that women can have it all. We can now, but back in the day, that wasn't an option. That wasn't how it worked.
I think that's where I find you such a source of inspiration, is because you are someone that once you like declare something, it happens quickly. You are someone that like will have that thing of like, this is what I'm going to do. Come on in, Aiden. Let's bring those tissues in. Thank you.
Aiden's the tissue.
The tissue king we love. Thank you. This is the thing that I've learned about you, is you are someone that like you'll make the decision, the declaration, whatever it is, and then it will move and happen really quickly. I think even with that, your kids are such a credit to you, because the way that your kids, you know, we've always said that we want our littles to your kids are like our inspiration of like, you know, this is what we want our children to be like, because they are so wholesome and grounded and beautiful and driven and like truly phenomenal humans. Credit to you and baby Clint over there.
Yeah, we've learned so much with you guys and your family values and the way that you raise your kids.
But I think even with that whole part of it is like, as much as you could feel like you didn't show up the way that you wanted to, you also, there was so much of your why to be able to travel and to do the things that you've done, and that, you know, to have the lives that you have had. It's kind of, two things can be true at once. I think you can have that feeling of like, I have, you know, I don't know what the word would be, things that I might do differently if I had my time again. However, also having that gratitude of like, I'm so glad that I did do it that way, to be able to do both.
Absolutely. Rache, once you made the decision to sell the clinic, what were you afraid of?
This is going to just be the crying episode, isn't it?
That's what we do at the Conscious Salon, by the way.
I think the biggest thing that sat really heavy on my heart, again, I'm going back, was the team. I remember several times coming home. Obviously, we hadn't told them. It was all sort of happening in the background, and that was the other thing. I wanted to make it was really set in concrete, and I wanted to make sure this person that was purchasing it was going to support and nurture the team and the culture, what I've created. And I know several times, you know, heading home at night, I would cry my eyes out because I thought, fuck, they're going to be angry at me. I'm going to let them down. Some of them have worked for me for 9 years. What are they like? Are they going to be disappointed? Are they going to, you know, all of those sort of emotions. Now I look at it though, and I think, the end of the day, it's not my responsibility. That isn't my responsibility. But it's also, I want to know that they're going to be okay. And that was the thing that was so, I struggled with the most and the hardest thing. Not all the other stuff, like the team and how they would cope and react to it was probably my biggest.
I see that with like when I think about how you've shown up for your team and how like for us witnessing it, you know, we've been privileged enough to be part of like facilitating PD days and like being part of training and sessions with your team. We've got to know your team quite well as well, clients of the team, all of the things.
couple of your team members have seen me in the nude.
Yeah.
Well, lucky ones. It's a very VIP status for those ones. But I think even with that, what I've seen from you as like their leader, you really embrace them. Like they become family. They're in your home. They're in your, they know your children. Like it's very, they know your mom, your dad. They know like there is that like real family feel with it.
Yeah.
Which can often then I think be where that guilt of like, okay, if I'm stepping back, am I betraying them? Am I letting them down? Am I like that guilt factor can be massive. And I know that that's something that a lot of people that might be considering this would have that fear of like, how can I take care of them, but also do what I need to do for myself because I can't continue to sacrifice my own happiness to continue where I am. It's massive.
I think that's what really sat on me heavy at the start. But now as time has gone and it's been sort of nearly 3 months since I don't own the clinic, is I really had to think of it like this is a great opportunity for them to grow, for someone else as a new leader to come in and bring fresh ideas and new energy as well. And I think that has been beautiful to watch them have those opportunities and think of it like that a little bit more too. Because I do think if I had never moved on or stepped out or whatever changed my role, they probably would have been stagnant to an extent as well.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's been
it's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what, Rache, being on the receiving end of those nights when you would leave the clinic and be like, oh, am I doing the right thing? And we saw so much like mental negotiation for you of being like, this is what I want to do. And I'm sitting in front of this team member saying, you know, follow your passion, listen to your intuition, do what's right for you. And then you're potentially staying in a business that doesn't feel right for you. It's really interesting when we actually take our own advice.
Yeah.
But so many women listening to this who are wanting to do the same thing, who feel held back because they feel this obligation to their team, which is so real in our industry. But one of the conversations that we had a few times was about, you know, when a team member sits in front of you and they say, my passion has changed and redirected, how do you respond to that? You say, this is incredible. Follow your intuition. Go and prioritize yourself. And when we go to do the same thing, we really fight with it and negotiate with it. How did the team respond when you shared the news with them?
I sat down with Clint and we, again, played it over in my head several times. And I think I made it, as we all do, as women as well, bigger than it needed to be in my own head. We really wanted to tell our team that had been with us for a long, lengthy time, and especially the ones that had been there for 8 and 9 years as well. So ideally what we wanted to do is tell them as a collective these ones. It just logistically didn't happen. So we rang them or we spoke to them in person one-on-one. Beautiful. And to be honest, all of them were just like, good on you. I'm so proud of you. And I had that moment of thinking, why the fuck was I like playing this in my head of such a terrible thing and they're going to be angry? And like they all just embraced us and said, good on you. Like this is so exciting. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you stepping into this. And I think for some of the team that were quite new and I guess that we'd hired more recently, it was a bit jarring for them because I think they initially thought obviously they were coming to work for myself and Clinton and that. But I think reassuring them that we were so adamant of getting someone that is going to believe in them and trust what we have created and continue to make that happen, I felt made it a little bit better for them as well.
I think you've really honoured that as well, like in there watching now the sale has happened and the transition has happened and you've really nurtured that to make sure that it was a really smooth transition. It wasn't something that was just like, cool, it's not mine anymore, not my problem. I'm out. Like, you know, that's your person now, it's not me.
Yeah.
Watching that and how you've navigated that I think is really something that I've been super inspired by, seeing how but also watching the complexities of that, of like learning the new boundaries of like, okay, cool, this actually isn't mine anymore. I can't keep, you know, running things or doing things the way that I once have. It's having that like, it's such an interesting thought. Like I try and picture how that would look or feel if we were to do that one day and how you would like navigate it. I would really struggle with learning my like boundaries and lines and not like continuing on. I would find that transition really like challenging.
To give some context as well, Rach has stayed on as a team member in the business. How's that the transition been? As
Tess just mentioned, I think that's probably been really challenging and probably more challenging than I expected. In a lot of sales, it's a walk in, walk out.
Yeah.
Like Clint and I, when we bought wax gallery. We've never met the owner. We've never seen her in person. We never met her. We had no idea. We walked into a business having no fucking idea. Whereas for this, the new owner, I've held his hands essentially and nurtured him through it. But on the other side of that, it's been really challenging because it's actually not my baby anymore. And I have to learn to like loosen the reins and let him do his thing because he'll never be able to learn himself if I'm always there. So that has been challenging and different. And I think even challenging in good and bad ways for the team members too. As you said before, Tess, I'm a very hands-on, in the trenches, there all the time, you know, really nurturing the team. And moving forward, everyone's different and everyone runs a business differently, and that's okay. But I think it is a transition for the team too. And I think there has been murky water of who do I go to? Is it Rache or is it the new owner, or where does that work? And
even your part in that would be different now, because when you are a salon owner, like you do have a different level of like responsibility, whereas now you're a team member who still has that, but the responsibility has like shifted back.
Yes.
And I think that would be like a really interesting new thing to enjoy, like experience, enjoy, learn.
Yeah. Enjoy. Look, there's enjoyment parts where I'm like, I am okay with never having a sick call. Fucking again.
You said that before.
Do not call me. I don't care.
Sometimes if I'm having a bad day with the salon, I say to Rach, you motherfucker. I'm so jealous of you right now.
I was like, yep, delete. Yeah.
Like
I don't miss that.
Yeah, like Christmas week, you know, 2 team members sick, something like that. And you go, oh, fuck this. Fuck this.
Oh, well.
But then when we have a great week in the salon, she's probably like, damn.
And then I'm like, oh, the cash flow's a bit shit. Clean, where's the cash box? That's a real downside.
Absolutely. But it's been so amazing to like witness you in this new era that you're in. And I think even like, as I said before, but the way you declare something and you action it and it just starts, and actually having that moment of like stepping back and thinking like 12 months ago, like life looked pretty damn different. And now you're in this new level and also starting these new ventures and doing these new things. It's so fucking exciting. But I have been so intrigued, and that's why I really want to talk about your story, because I think it is really unique. There is majority of sales will happen when people are like at that point of being like, fuck it, I'm out. I don't want to be like, I'm so done. I'm handing this over and I'm walking away. Whereas for you, it has been more of in that overflow and having that, you know, finding the right person and like bridging it together and being like almost like a mediator in this process as well, and still having that, like it's really unique and so fucking inspiring.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
So you sat still for 4 minutes after
3.2 seconds and I declared I'm never having a business, and I'm resting. I'm going to Europe. Didn't happen.
And then about 3 months after selling the clinic? Not even 6 weeks. Rach said, I've got an idea. I've had an idea. And do you know what's funny? For a couple of years, we've been talking about there's something simmering on the pot. We always say something simmering.
I said
we're not
getting
too
burnt
sure.
though. We need to let's get it fucking happening.
We're not too sure what it is. Like for years, you've been saying, I know there's this next level version of me. I'm not sure what it looks like yet. And then about 6 weeks after you sold the clinic, you said, I know what it looks like.
Yes.
So I want to shift gears a little bit. And I want to talk about Soul Society and for you to tell us the story of how it all came together.
Amazing. As I said, subconsciously, I think all of these little things have happened in the last few years of where I'm meant to be. And like you said, Tess, I think it's the overflow of, I believe I've got so much more to give to this world. I've got so much more impact to help other people to live a really, as I say, like a fucking wholesome life. And I've been on social media a long time, and I share a lot of my business and my personal life, and people it's sort of weird but beautiful that are so invested.
She's the Australian Kardashians. They've got lots of
love
different,
to watch you in the family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People love to watch you.
I mean, I was going to say creepy, but creepy is not the right word. But like they invest in it. Like Granabelle, my mum, like Thursday Aldi shop.
She's actually our next podcast guest.
should froth
I
that,
actually
don't tell
want her
her.
on the pod. She would be. I love Granabelle.
And I think it's not, you know, I know people say on social media like, oh, everyone just puts all the good things and da-da-da-da. And not necessarily. On my work account and behind the scenes, I just show up how I am.
Yeah, it is. It's really is like a little insight, a little snippet into your world, which is such a magical, incredible world.
It's so authentic, like being a part of your family and being in there. And I'm like, that is what it looks like on a Saturday night when we're having dinner.
Yeah. Because people go, oh, they obviously just put that together, and I'm like, oh no. This is like, this
That's
is
who
it.
you are. Yeah.
And it's not always good, and it's not always, but it is. So I've got off the question.
So Soul Society.
So that
I was going
happened.
to also touch on the fact that when you were like considering over the last couple of years, conceptualizing the idea, and this was like marinating away, you did say, so Rach was adopted, for anyone who didn't know, and she has this incredible podcast called The One Left Behind, and she tells the story about her adoption from the Philippines. She was in an orphanage in the Philippines, and you did say at some point in the last couple of years.
I'm like, what are you about to say?
You said, I think I might go over to the Philippines and just help at the orphanage and like help them, which is beautiful. But then she was like, help them build an orphanage. And I said, if you go to the Philippines with a shovel in your hand, like I said, this is the most non-Rachel Mahon thing I've ever heard.
Totally.
Rachel's like 5-star luxury, like the best of the best. And she was talking about going and slogging it out in the Philippines, building shelter, and the orphans are still waiting.
The orphanage is already built.
But then we also said, but then you'd get in your limo and wave as you go back to the.
She'll go back to the Hilton, the 5-star Hilton in the Philippines, the Manila Hilton.
All right, so that was
Stop
a brief thought, thankfully.
I'm actually going to now that I've
Well, she said
I've
it now,
declared it. He just says you declare shit and you can go and do
You're
it.
not there to build it. They've built
Anyway,
it. Like it's already so getting back to how we actually, how we, I love that I'm putting myself in there, but Soul Society.
Soul Society, I believe Soul Society, it came to me in the sense of people are invested. People are invested in what I do, how I've, and a lot of people that have followed me for the last 15 years, I'm a very different person, and we all are, from back then to now. I would say I was a badass bitch that just didn't give a fuck what anyone thought. I do what I want, and all of that. I was cutthroat. I said what I wanted. I was reactive. I was all of these things, and people have seen that change, and just living a more wholesome life, and how to like give back to this world, and how to be kinder, and how to and that's what I really honing in with my kids as well. How do we give back to this world more than we take? How do we show up to people that don't have a community, don't have people to come and talk to, don't feel like they belong anywhere? And Allegra and I, my daughter, had done a few little things with businesses and some personal development days and connecting with other people in business and that sort of thing. And I thought, hang on, maybe this is something that people need. And we facilitated a personal development day in Bendigo, and I had a lot of women in there and go, I've only moved to Bendigo. Where do I go? How do I meet friends? All that sort of stuff. And I was like, it sort of just dropped into me, and I said, like, we need to do this. Like, this is what. And even she said, if you're 18 and you don't want to go out and drink, how do you meet people?
Yeah. So cool.
I don't know. Okay. And people are always like, oh my God, you have so much fun, and like you do events and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, this is what it's meant to be. This is how Soul Society is about uplifting, connecting people to feel like they belong.
That's
what it is.
I love that.
And I think it's been really cool watching you guys build this, and you've got your first event coming up in November.
So exciting. Tickets are on sale, aren't they?
They are on sale.
Tickets are on sale. Can we plug the event?
Let's.
Have we got tickets? We've only got a handful of tickets.
We only have a handful of tickets left.
Yes.
It's being in Bendigo. And it's our first event called The First Chapter. And this is essentially launching the business, but it's about creating community and bringing people together, and getting to sort of know the people in our community and people that are really following us along already. We've got the beautiful cat John, who has been my mentor for a little while, coming and opening and launching it as well. A beautiful, soulful morning of, connection as well, matcha coffee and hopefully sunshine, and just really opening up the space to start this community too.
Stunning.
It's going to be incredible.
And
We're
you
going
know
to be
what
there. Can't wait.
Yes.
I've loved about this, Rache, is you've taken everyone behind the scenes of building the brand. You're doing this with your 18-year-old daughter. You were also a teen mum to Allegra, and there is a version of your story that would have there would be so many people that would have thought that you would not have been as successful as what you are. There is a version of your story that could have gone in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
And the things that you've built, and now doing it with legs and showing the world, like, we've learned so much from you guys as a family and as a collective, the way that you lead your team. You know, you guys are offering leadership things with like all business owners and salon owners, team development days, which is just going to be so expansive for our industry, so that salon owners can actually connect with their team on a different level and understand their team and not have that mentality that's just like hustle, because that was just such a huge part of what you did at Pearl and Sage, and now you get to take that medicine and pass it on to other people who are looking for that same thing.
Just so it's the legacy piece, isn't it? Like
it's sharing my lived experiences and being able to do that with Allegra at 18.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think she's incredible to even go, okay, cool, to jump into a business with family, as you guys know too, and with your daughter, and it's the beginning of something that I know that will be beautiful.
It was so funny though, even when I think back to like when we were like, this is like I just feel like this is like the idea, and we were talking about it, and you're like, I don't even know how it looks. I was like, yeah, but like even hearing how you say it, it's such a thing. It's like it will work. Like I was like, yeah, I don't really know how it looks either, but it's going to be fucking amazing.
Neither do I.
Because, but even that, like
it
was that feel out, but just knowing and trusting this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing at the time that I'm meant to be doing it with the person that I'm meant to be doing it with. And I think that's pretty fucking cool. Like how many people get to have something like that? Like that is so fucking special.
And I think what it sets apart is that generational wisdom of you've got an 18-year-old, we've got a nearly 40-year-old. Granabelle's really part of this as well. You know, it's
oh my God.
Everyone's like, can Granabelle be a VIP at one of the events?
We really need to get her.
Actually, we'll do a raffle
shoots.
and it will be an Aldi bag. It'll be the raffle.
And you get to go shopping with her on a Thursday.
Get me into that raffle immediately.
You love it.
But it's so unique and special and such a I think with it, and because you are going to be doing this with like all businesses, right? It's not one that's just like
and
industry
that's the thing.
specific.
It's not the hair. Yes, I've come from that land, but people and business owners especially, I think, are realising, fuck, if I put time and effort into my team, the productivity on the other side and the magic that we can create. So I said I've had people that are in real estate and that are florists, that are photographer, like
it's incredible.
Really, probably not from my industry, really. It's really beautiful that people are thinking, okay, cool, if I invest into my team, it's going to be worth
the return
it.
And it's bringing everyone together. Like that is your superpower. That is Allegra's superpower, being able to bring people together and make magical moments. Fuck yeah, this whole society, we're so excited.
Amazing. Rache, I want you to take a second and I want you to think about that version of yourself 12 months ago who got that, or 9 months ago, who got that feeling of maybe I need to move forward and maybe there's something else for me. And this version of you probably had a lot of fear around doing that in that next chapter. And I want you to really think about what you would say to her if you were looking at eye to eye right now.
It's a big question. I think if I was looking at myself 12 months ago, I would say, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you listening to your intuition. I'm proud of you for wanting to make this world better and to be able to connect people and feel like they belong.
Wow. It's a pretty fucking beautiful legacy. Rache, thank you for being here and for sharing your heart with us. We are so unbelievably proud of you and everything that you and Clint and Leggy and Odie and Jamies have built.
Dogs.
Winnie,
Granabelle,
Lulu. The chickens even. But you, on a personal level, you have taught us a phenomenal amount in only 3 years, and you're just an exceptional friend. I dreamed of this friendship.
That's so beautiful.
Love
I
you,
think that's the thing. We're just so inspired. Everything you do, continue to do. And what's coming next, the world is brighter with you in it. So thank you
so much for having me.
Rache, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, plug your shit.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, oh my God,
I've
there's that 85
sorry, I've got the
Instagram
85 accounts.
handles,
Do you want the unhinged one or the sensible one or that? No. You can find the behind the scenes of the Marns by Design.
Yes.
And then Soul Society Collective.
Great.
Yes.
Excellent. And should we give BC a shout out too?
Yeah.
Oh, and the other business.
CJM Design.
CJM Design, if you need any quality timber, furniture.
Actually, I will say Clint made our table in the salon, and that is like our signature piece in the salon.
That's our legacy piece as well. That's 100% the legacy piece now.
Rache, thank you for being here.
Thank you for being my friends, for inspiring me and making me want to always do better. So
Love
you
different
guys.
to the last episode that we did where we talked about the person getting shagged in the hotel
Railed
room
was the word I used.
across from us.
Yeah.
But you know, it's gone
For
where it's
anyone
meant
that's
to.
now, that's a little tidbit for the
No, go
next
find the
latest,
episode.
oldest episode.
Go
So
find
just
the
search,
episode.
search for railing.
Absolutely excellent. Thank you guys so much
Love
for
you.
listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast.
Love you guys. Stay conscious.